What I'm going to talk about, that's not even here, is Guan Yu. And Guan Yu is the man who became loyalty itself. That's his name. He's not called the dude who was loyal. He's not called any of that. He's called the man who became loyalty. Now, this guy appears, this is like late, Han Dynasty, Three Kingdoms period. This is like 200, 220. So like, this is more than 2,000 years ago. He was a general. He was considered to be a saint. He became the god of royal loyalty and righteousness and the protector of brotherhood, justice, and oaths. So he's a rare figure who got elevated. He got elevated for just being like absolutely righteous. Like he was that dude. For anyone, he is that dude, right? He is absolutely that dude on a whole nother level, to where he still gets his love and worship right now. Don't think that he doesn't, right? This is who this guy is. So he's known for loyalty, brotherhood, righteousness, and honor above survival. So he represents not just strength, but this unbreakable loyalty in a world that was, full of betrayal. So he was tight with the king. He was considered to be the king or emperor's best friend during that period, for that period of time. So historically, he served under this Lao Bei as one of the most chaotic periods. Who decided he's a god? Their culture has elevated him to being a god. Like that, he is literally worshipped, right? Like, or are you talking about Michael Jordan? I'm not saying Michael Jordan is. I'm simply saying like he's the closest that we see to this. But in terms of Guan Yu, the culture 2,000 years later, he has been elevated to godhood, right? And I'm going to break it down, like how he gets there. So because he's known for never switching sides. He gets elevated. He's known for never switching sides. He famously swore his brotherhood, right, in this Peach Garden Oath, right? This is an oath of loyalty. So his battlefield skills was already well respected, right? And it was his character that people couldn't deny. He was so righteous that even his enemies were like, man, that's a real cool dude. So he went from being just having respect to being mythologized. Like he became myth. He became actually a living legend. So I think you got to be a living legend first, and then you get this transformation. So his transformation is driven by this human belief in a skilled warrior with a reputation for being honorable. Then the story started expanding him. He gets into the romance of the Three Kingdoms, which is a big, event, like book and literature at that period of time. So his feats start to become larger, right? Like it wasn't just like he slayed 10 guys. It's probably like he slayed 100 guys. His personality becomes idealized. Like he's the dude right there that you should, mimic yourself after. Try to be like him, right? Be like Mike, right? Be like Guan Yu, right? That's what they were saying. So he was recognized. So he becomes officially deified. He becomes officially deified. He's recognized by the emperors. He's given a divine title, and he is elevated to Guandi, which is a full warrior deity. So he got paperwork. Like they literally got paperwork. So this is the thing. He wasn't just taken to heaven, right? And we're going to talk about Enoch. He wasn't just taken to heaven. He was literally lifted up by the people. And they literally raised the roof on him. I don't know if you guys remember that. So as a deity, now he is said to be protection in war. So soldiers will pray to this guy before a battle. He is justice and moral authority. So he's seen as a judge of everyone's character. He is spiritual enforcement. He protects against corruption and betrayal. And for merchants, for business purposes, business protection, merchants worship him for his integrity and his success, right? So he's known. So like in the last one, criminal organizations and law enforcement both pray to the same figure. Like he's universal, right? Internationally known, locally respected. And because he has both sides, he gets loyalty. Both sides value loyalty. Criminal organizations and law enforcement. They all worship being loyal in the game, right? Like where I could trust you. This is when trust means, if I'm in law enforcement, trust means I got to put my life in your hands, man. We go to make an arrest and I tell you guys to cover my back. I got to know that you're going to cover my back. That's where that loyalty, where you like, I know this guy got me, man. I know Jenkins, man. I know this dude. He got my back. That's who he is. He's Jenkins who got your back. And on the loyalty side for the criminal organization, they also need loyalty, right? Like loyalty that we're down for this mission. We're going to make it happen. We're going to stick together. You're not going to snitch. So just being a straight up guy is what got him there. So he is actually nonsensically has a massive cultural worship presence right now. So he has statues in temples, at police stations, at businesses, at homes, and he's worshipped across Taoism, Buddhism, Chinese folklore, and seen as a war god, a protector, and the symbol of trust. Like, this is that dude in many ways. So in many shops, he's placed facing the door so he can watch who's coming in the business, and he can give you like judgment of them as they're coming in, right? So that's 100% who he is. So this is a guy who represents like what loyalty means when it's easier to betray you. So he didn't win every time. He didn't survive every single conflict. He did die. He wasn't perfect, but he was the most consistent. Like, I can bank on this guy. He starts off, I believe he starts off as a warrior and then elevates to become a general. At some point, they do link him to having like a kingdom of his own. But I think when all that, like, so he was a warlord who becomes really dominant and then gives his allegiance to the emperor, to the royal family. That's where, so he kind of gives up his own lordship and gives it up to be, to give it to the royal family. So that's how he becomes honored by the royal family. In modern times, like, this guy is also big and he's out there. He's in video games like Dynasty of Warriors. And if you look at like a lot of Chinese cultures, you'll see him appear in like film and TV adaptations. Sometimes just like a representation of him in the background. But he's always going to be wearing green, right? He's always going to be locked up in green. He's always going to have, or most of the time, he's going to have his spear there with him. So you can kind of recognize his iconography by looking at him. He's still used. Like, none of this stuff has gone away. He literally didn't become a god because he was the strongest man in China. He became a god because in a world of betrayal where you had to watch everybody, this was the one guy you could count on, man. Like, you could put that check. If he said he's got your back, you didn't have to go back and question it. Now, if he didn't say he's got your back, that's a whole different thing. But when he said he got your back, man, he was all about that business. And he never, ever, ever backed off. And that's why the people chose to lift him up and to put him in that framework, man. This wasn't even like, you know, the gods and stuff like that. I mean, this is the people doing this. And it's the people who are still like carrying him, in popularity now. And that's the thing. When you have one of the oldest continuous cultures in the world, or maybe the longest continuous culture in the world, you get to carry myths of people for 2,000 years, 2,500 years. And that's what they've been doing with this cat here. I'd say at least 2,000 years from my math. Like, they've been like pumping this